Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. This week I would like to talk about how to handle a breakup. And this is for everyone because you need to know how to handle a breakup before it actually happens. So if you're in a relationship, if you're dating someone, or even if you're single, don't think, oh, well, I'm not going through a breakup, so I don't need to know. No, you absolutely need to know because you need to understand what you need to do the moment someone breaks up with you. And so you need to know beforehand so you'll be prepared. Now, this is for a breakup that comes out of the blue. I'm not talking about the type of breakup where you sit down and discuss it with your partner and you both agree, okay, this isn't working, then we should break up. No, I'm talking about when you think everything is fine, or you know there's some issues, but you figure that you'll work through them. You certainly don't plan on breaking up, and then poof, out of the blue one day, your partner breaks up with you. So you're not going to want to do what I'm about to tell you. It's counterintuitive, but it's almost guaranteed that if you do this, you will reverse the breakup. This is your best chance at reversing a breakup, okay? So, all you need to do, very simple, when they say it's over, when they say what they want to break up with you, you just agree. You just say, okay, that's it. Don't ask questions, don't argue, don't ask why. And if they do it over text, fantastic, because then they don't get to see the shock in your face because they're breaking up with you. So over text, you just say, okay. And depending on the situation, excuse me, you can also say, you were a great person to date. I wish you the best. Okay, I understand. That's it. Just 2 or 3 short sentences. Or if it's more of a bitter breakup and you don't want to say all those things, then you can just say, okay. So what you're doing is a form of verbal Tai Chi because they've already planned on breaking up with you. So if they've got this momentum going, and so if you look at the visual, you're standing there and they're running towards you. And if you stay standing there, they're going to knock you over. And that's what they're doing with the breakup. However, by saying okay, by agreeing, you move out of the way. And because they've already got momentum as they're running towards you, now they're going to fall over. And that's what saying okay is going to do. You're going to knock them over because it's unexpected. You've unbalanced them because they were expecting you to stay standing there and to oppose the breakup and to say something. But just by saying okay, you've backed out of the way and they end up falling over. So the next step then is if you have things that you have to get back from them or they have things that they have to get back from you. If they have something of yours, ask yourself, do you really need what it is they have? And will they still give it back to you in a few months? So if you can wait, then do not contact them about that. Do not ask them about it because you want to disappear, stay away from them as long as possible during this period of time, during the initial breakup time. If you have something of theirs, do not contact them. If they want it, they will contact you. Unless, of course, you owe them money. If you owe them money, then if you can, send it to them via PayPal and just say something like, here's the money I owe you. Hope all is well. That's it. And if you can't send it via PayPal for some reason, then arrange to get the money to them, but try not to be the person giving them the money. So send the check, have someone give it to them in person. Again, you want to stay away from them right now. And I have a story that will illustrate what I'm talking about. So this guy was dating this girl for 4 years, and then they went through a difficult time. They were estranged. He felt that she was cheating on him. He found some texts. So this went on for about 2 months. And then one day she finally delivered the final text saying, okay, you need to get over it. It's over. That's it. course, he called me up in a panic. What do I do? What do I do? I said, no problem. All you're going to do is say, okay. Yes, he was just as shocked as you are listening to this. But luckily, he was a smart guy, and he said, okay, okay. And he did it. And then I said, make sure you're hanging out with someone today. Family or friends, don't be alone, because obviously it's going to be a difficult time. So about a week after that, he went out of town to visit family in Eastern Europe. And a week after that, so 2 weeks after the breakup, she starts looking for him. Finds out he's in Eastern Europe, contacts him in a panic. It wasn't working out with the new guy. She was trying to leave him. He wouldn't let her. He was being abusive. He was blackmailing her. What should she do? What should she do? And he said, well, hey, I'm not your boyfriend anymore. You got rid of me. I mean, what do you want from me? She's apologizing profusely. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I want to get married. I want to have your children. I learned the error of my ways, although I'm sure she didn't use that language. She was a totally different person, 180 degrees from her attitude from 2 weeks earlier. And he said no. So next thing you know, a few days later, he gets a phone call from her. She says, I'm at the airport and I'm heading over to you. And he's like, what? So he couldn't stop her, obviously. So she used her last money to fly from Los Angeles to Eastern Europe to buy a one-way ticket at the last minute, which I'm sure you can imagine was not a cheap ticket. She couldn't buy a return ticket because she didn't know when he was coming back. So she didn't want to buy a ticket for, let's say, a week, and meanwhile he was going to be coming back in 3 days. So again, he contacts me. What do I do? His family in Europe, they knew what was going on, and they didn't want him to see her because they knew that he was weak, and they also didn't like the way that she had behaved towards him. So basically, she got there, and his family met her at the airport. They put her up in a hotel, and they got her the first flight out of there. But as you can see, by not fighting it, by just saying okay, she came back, because when he first contacted me, he said, well, I want to go over there and I want to shake her and I want to tell her to smarten up. And I go, yeah, that's not going to work. As much as you want to, I know you want to. I know that's your first instinct, to do something, to say something. It's the illusion of action. But that action is going to do the opposite of what you want. It's reverse psychology. That's why it's counterintuitive. All you do is say no. And in fact, when he got back to the States, they eventually ended up getting back together. See? And he didn't have to do anything except send back a little text saying, okay. So, if you have any questions or comments, you can contact me at my website, theartoflove.net, where I am also available for coaching if you are going through a breakup or even if you're not. If you're listening to this on iTunes, please be sure to leave a review. And in the meantime, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.